Good morning, gorgeous. How are you doing this morning? I hope you're having a great day so far. Welcome to my channel. I'm Dr. Michelle Daff, and I'm so happy that you're here with me today as we talk about 7 ways to know if a man really loves you. Before we get into this topic, I just wanted to say thank you to every single woman who came out to see me in Atlanta at the Ready to Bloom conference. I was able to speak and share a lot about myself and my testimony and just connect with so many women. And many of you came from my YouTube channel and my podcast. So it was such a joy to meet you. I am always delighted to be able to meet those who watch me and listen to me, because it seems like we're so distant, but we're connected in that you take in what we talk about. And it's so nice to be able to actually meet you. So thank you for coming. It was a blessed event. If you did go, leave me a comment, and don't feel afraid to reach out to me if you want to. I love hearing from you. So back to today's video, we're talking about 7 things a man will do if he really loves you. These are things that you can kind of look out for when you're dating a man and you're trying to decide if this is someone who really does care about you. Oftentimes when you're in that dating cycle, you're dating so many different people and they're showing you their best side and you're having fun and it's all great, but you're not quite sure if they really like you. You're not quite sure if they really care about you. I will say first and foremost that as a feminine woman, it's so important that you listen to your intuition, you listen to your gut, you're able to connect with yourself to be able to bring out honesty. And oftentimes, if a man is not putting in certain efforts, you can kind of already feel it. You already sort of know if they're not showing up the way that they should. And I want you to honor that, because that will take you so much further than any of these tips. These are great markers and they're good to know, especially if you're thinking about long-term or marriage. But listening to yourself and to God's voice within you is always going to direct you. Now, a word for today's sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. With the trials that life brings, the constant changes in our society, and the excessive consumption of social media can fuel things like depression, anxiety, and just bring about many mental health concerns. This highlights the importance of having a safe space for your mental wellness. That is why I want to introduce you to BetterHelp. BetterHelp provides therapy, making it easy to get the support that you need. With around 32,000 qualified therapists across various specialties, BetterHelp offers affordable rates across different services. If you need guidance in making life choices, or you just need someone to vent to and help sort out your thoughts, BetterHelp can help. When you reach out to BetterHelp, they will match you with the most suitable therapist based on your needs. And you can switch therapists if you need a better fit. BetterHelp provides therapy sessions that are convenient and comfortable. Whether you prefer online, text, audio, video call, their professional therapists are adaptable to your needs. Are you ready to begin your journey? Visit the link in the description below at betterhelp.com/Dr. Michelle to enjoy 10% discount on your first month. That's betterhelp.com/Dr. Michelle. Thank you so much, BetterHelp, for sponsoring this video today for all of these beautiful ladies. The first thing that a man will do for you if he really does love you is he will show consistent effort. Consistency is one of those things that you really want to look out for when you're dating someone and if you're considering this person as a husband. If a man meets you, they're going to be excited. They want to do all the things and they're going to put their best foot forward. They're going to take you to nice places and they're going to listen to you and do all of these things at first. But oftentimes what happens is that these men will start to show some inconsistencies. They will sometimes cancel the date, sometimes show up for the date. They will sometimes disappear and not be able to reach them. Sometimes you'll be able to reach them. They will have these elaborate situations and excuses sometimes, and then other times they'll be so dependable. So you want to look out for his behavior. Does he actually live up to who he says he is consistently? This effort comes in many ways. It's not just him showing up and being available, but also him making a consistent effort to please you and to show up for you in the relationship. Is it something that you can rely on? Do you know within yourself? Can you say within yourself, yes, I know and I trust that he would be there for me. I know he's going to show up in a certain way. It's really unfortunate sometimes that women will date a guy and this is like their boyfriend, but something will happen to them. Like they'll get into a car accident or something and they're calling this man to come pick them up, or they're asking him for some sort of favor and he can't, or he won't, or they can't reach him, or, there's all this stuff around it. And it's embarrassing because everyone is like, okay, isn't he your boyfriend? Like, why isn't he showing up for you? But oftentimes, again, these things, but you just hope that in dire situations, they would show up. You'll be able to tell this if you watch how they are with the little things, how much they're trying to please you, taking you where you want to go, coming up with ideas of things to do, being interested in the things that you are interested in, showing up for things that they could really care less about, but you want to go to the ballet and they could care less about the ballet, but they go anyway. And they're showing you genuine interest consistently, not on and off, not here and there, not in and out, but consistently. The second thing that a man will do to show that he does truly love you is that he will support your dreams and your goals. This is one of the markers of you dating a masculine man or you marrying a masculine man. Masculine men like to help. They like to empower. They like to bring visions to life. They like to be able to find the holes and fix them. They like to be able to watch you and see, oh, wow, she's an artist and she's doing all these things. She's so creative and she's so popular. But I noticed that she's not really maximizing what she could do with her art. Let me see if I can help her get her art into museums and hospitals and airports, or let me help her find like a financial manager because she's making all this money so fast, but she doesn't really know what to do with it. She's blowing all of her money. Let me help her to manage this, or whatever it is that she needs. Let me figure out where I can fit in to help her be better. That's what masculine men do who are interested in you, who love you. This is one of the ways that they show that they love you, is that whatever it is that you're doing, they help you reach it better. And it doesn't matter if it's something that you feel like you're already like set in, they will try to find a way to elevate it. And it shows interest in you, in your hobbies and your gifts and your beliefs and the things that you care about. And it shows that they want to be connected with you with every aspect of your life, even if it's just a little suggestion or financing a dream or introducing you to someone. They want to be part of that. And with some men, when they really, are going above and beyond in this category of supporting your dreams and your goals, they will even make the appropriate sacrifices or adjustments to be able to help support you. If you're in a situation where maybe you want to go back to school and it's in another state and you say, okay, well, I really want to get this degree, but I don't really think I can do it here. I have to move. They will say, okay, you know what? I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to have to find another job over there, but I'm going to support you. We're going to do this. It's going to happen. I'm here for you. They will not try to stop you or try to make it about them or try to get in the way. They will find a way to make the necessary sacrifices and adjustments to help you to reach your goals and your dreams. The third thing that a man will do if he really does love you is communicate openly with you. Now, communication with men is difficult in general. Men, oftentimes their brains are not wired the same way as women's are in terms of them being able to always come up with the right words and say the right things. It takes them a longer time, and it's just the difference between the sexes. We're different. And so oftentimes when it comes to communication, men and women struggle greatly because we expect different things from one another. But a man who does truly love you will want to communicate with you, will want to communicate honestly and openly with you. And even if it's not the right time or it's not in his most comfortable state, he will still connect with you. And it could mean that he's waiting a few days. It could mean that there's a little bit of a pause or whatever has to happen. He will come back to you with honesty and truth, and he will lay it out, or he will be open to listening to you and supporting you. If there's something that's to be talked about, he will not shut you out and act like you're stupid and you can't think and he's going to make all the decisions. He's not going to dismiss your feelings and act like they don't matter and you're being overly dramatic and ridiculous. If he knows you to be a person who is sound in their mind, he will take in those uncomfortable feelings, figure out how to filter through them, and he will have a conversation with you. And that will be something that you will cherish. This is something that marks the difference between men who are mature and who are what we would call like good men. This is one of those qualities that really does make a mark. I have seen so many women who have dated guys who they were really into, but once they met a man who knew how to communicate openly, it changed everything. They realized that they had been completely missing out on what a beautiful aspect of the relationship. Being able to say things that are hard to say, being able to access their emotions, being able to just give on that level is something that is so prized. And there are some men who will purposely do this with women that they're not interested in. Like, there are men who are decent communicators. They can communicate openly and freely when they choose to. But if they're dating a woman that they don't really care about, that they just want to sleep with, they just want to use, they will choose not to communicate openly. Like, they will give themselves boundaries on how much they're going to talk, how often they're going to communicate, what they're going to let in and let out. They will choose not to share their feelings and not to connect with you because they don't want to. They don't want to build anything with you in that level. So if he's not doing that, it is a sign that there's something wrong. But if he is, it does show that he does truly love you because he's willing to open up that very sacred space that men have very difficult time opening up in order to have a deeper connection with you. The fourth thing that a man will do if he really does love you is prioritize your happiness. There obviously has been a huge wave of women realizing that they're dating men who are considered narcissists and are just so self-absorbed and only interested in their own needs and their own wants. And this is something that we'll talk about later because I do think that more people are labeling people narcissists that are not actually narcissists. However, people can have narcissistic qualities. One thing that is clear though, when a man does really love you, is that he is willing to prioritize your happiness. He's able to say, I would like to have it my way, but I will allow you to have it your way because I want you to be happy. He's not going to mope and groan and complain about every little thing. He wants you to be happy, and he won't make a big fuss about things that don't need a big fuss over. And this is one of those things that you probably won't even realize if you haven't had people in your life who don't prioritize your happiness, whether it's your father, a brother, other boyfriends. You'll be able to tell if you've ever had someone who was just hell-bent on having their way all the time with everything. And it's like you felt so stuffy that you couldn't breathe around them, or you couldn't put your cup here, you couldn't ask to do something with them. It's like their way or no way. But when you have a man who really does love you, they're going to do that. You're going to notice that even if it's something that's inconvenient, even if it's something that they would rather have had this over this, they'd rather watch this movie over this movie, they'd rather travel here versus there. They know how much it means to you, they will do it. And it's not to say that you have to have your way all the time, but it is great to be able to have that barometer of knowing that he's willing to. He's willing to, because that's what love and relationships are all about, being able to give and take. So, sweetie, if you're dating a man who genuinely loves to bring you joy, he pays attention to the things that you like, he goes out of his way to notice the things that really do bring you joy and finds ways to get it to you, to help you, to remind you of those things, that is a guy who really does probably love you. The fifth way that you can tell if a man really does love you in terms of what he will do is he will stand by you during tough times. This is something that is a clear marker of someone who really does love you. Love is something that is shown through actions, and that's why all these things are actionable things, or things that you can look at and be able to see. Does he do these things? Like, this is a clear marker of an action that shows love. And standing by a person through very difficult situations and not being wishy-washy, not being a ghost during those bad times, being able to withstand the emotions or the financial situations or the pain of those times with you is so important, and it does show that he really does love you. So if you are dating a man who is very dependable and supportive during very difficult times in your life, this is a good sign that he does love and care about you. He is willing to take on the discomfort of a person maybe grieving, or a person just struggling or feeling low, or being rejected, or whatever it is that you're going through. He may not have the words. He may not know always like what to do in those situations or what to say to you, but he's there, and he's not going to act like he's tired of hearing it. He's not going to act like you are a nuisance or a bother. He's there. And this is so important. All of these things are honestly so important. But when you move from being a dating relationship to being married, you'll see why these things are so important. Because in marriage, you're going to have very tough times. It's just part of life. Things are going to happen, and you want to know that the person that you are with can stick with you through those times, that they're not going to start having all of these crazy behaviors, or they're not going to go be with another woman because you have some sort of terminal disease and you can't perform sexual duty. So he goes and finds someone else, or you maybe are having issues with conceiving. And so now he's like coming up with all this random stuff to do and being insensitive and not wanting to stick with you through these times. These are so important to think about. I've seen many women talk about how, like, these are women who are very classy, beautiful, glamorous, all those things. And they had situations in their marriages where they were very sick, or they had some sort of situation that happened where they were stripped down, like bald head, no makeup, overweight, clothes tattered, and like just their lowest of low. Like, they don't even want to look at themselves in the mirror, and they're having issues. Like, I know you may be eating, so if you are, excuse me, but like maybe they're throwing up, or they're having bleeding, or things are happening to their body, and their husbands are right there with them, lifting them up, picking them up, taking them to the doctor, telling them that they're beautiful, giving them kisses and hugs, and being with them through these very difficult times where not only are they experiencing something difficult, but they also just don't even have what it is to give to him on that wifely level to make him feel so good. And they're still loved and cared for throughout it all. They're still valued. And these things all kind of merge together, but being with you through hard times is so important. And being with you with joy, with love, with care, with tenderness is a marker of a man who really does love you. The sixth thing that a man will do if he really does love you is he will make future plans with you. This is one of the ways that a lot of women kind of test men when they're dating to see if he sees a future, is whether he is making long-term plans. Men who are dating women who are not serious will make sure that they don't use language to talk about the future. They don't make plans that are too far off with them. They don't do anything to make the woman expect that they're going to be around. And they do this on purpose. They do it on purpose because they're truly not thinking long-term. So when you're with a man and he is making long-term plans with you, it is an indication that he wants you in his life. And it does show that he does love you, that he does want something real with you. And even if you're married, if your husband is making plans continuously about how he wants to enrich the marriage, enrich the family, enrich your goals, enrich whatever it is that has been a vision of yours for years, it does show that he loves you, that he's still considering the things that will bless the family and bless your union. It's not over just because you sign the papers and you're married. He is genuinely always trying his best to pour into you as much as he can. And the final thing, the number 7 thing that a man will do if he really does love you is respect your boundaries. It is important when you're dating to allow the person that you're with, and when you're married, to allow your husband to know what is and is not okay with you. I know oftentimes as women, we don't want to rock the boat. We don't want to make him feel like we're difficult. We don't want to throw off a perfectly good relationship by having to say no or by saying we don't like something. But it's important for him to love you in your entirety, to know you for who you are and not just as a yes man or not just as someone who allows him to do whatever he wants. There are things that we are all comfortable with and uncomfortable with in dating and in marriage. And it's important that you share those things with him. But if he does truly love you, he will respect them. Does it mean he's going to be happy that you put up boundaries? No. Most people are not happy, but he's going to respect that because everyone knows that when you have boundaries, it's saying that you respect yourself. You love yourself enough to put parameters on how other people interact with you and your things. So when a man is able to hear that no and say, okay, I apologize, and not do it again, that is a clear sign that he does care and respect and love you. He does want to be able to do whatever it takes to be able to be with you and for you to be happy. Men who truly do love you are also not going to want to take up all of your time and all of your resources and just want to be all up under you all the time. They're going to be able to respect the fact that you do need personal space. You do need autonomy. You need time to yourself. You need the ability to be able to have your own stuff, your own things. And that's okay. It's okay to have your own things. Even if it's like a password situation for your account. Some people say, oh, my husband has all my passwords and everything. There is nothing wrong with that. That's great to have transparency. But just because he has it doesn't mean that he is logging into your account every day and checking everything you're doing. That might make you feel uncomfortable, or grabbing your phone as you're sitting down and just going through it and looking through all your messages. Like, yeah, you're not hiding anything and he's welcome to, but that makes you uncomfortable. And these things are different in every relationship, but the point is, it's important that you share your boundaries and that he is able to respect them. That is a clear indication. When a man cannot respect your boundaries, it shows that he does not love you. He does not respect you. He does not see that your needs and your will matters. And that's very dangerous. So whatever it is and however long it's been going on, voice it, tell him, and see what he's willing to do. See how he interacts with you after that. See if he changes, because what does matter are his actions. So I hope that this video was helpful to you and just helping you to kind of get a couple ideas of things that men who do love you, what they do, especially if you're dating someone and you're not quite sure if he's showing up in a way that shows that he really is putting in the right things in the relationship. Be sure to follow me on Instagram at The Dr. Daf Show. I am doing something very cool on the show, and I am opening it up right now for people to join me. So if you're interested in being on the show, if you would like to be casted for the show, I have opportunities right now. You can click the link below, but you can also visit me on Instagram and get more information at The Dr. Daf Show. And you can follow my personal Instagram at Dr. Michelle Daf. And of course, listen to my podcast, The Dr. Daf Show. Thank you so much for being here and spending time with me today. I hope this video blessed you. I love you so much. And until next time, bye-bye.